Okay, start recording again. Go to the game, and there we go. Everything good like this?
Yeah, I can see.
Perfect. But yeah, stuff that's going on here, right? Like you were saying, obviously, there's many times where you can like stat check him, and if he doesn't know how to play, then yeah, you gotta kill him.
Like level 1, I could have stat checked him.
If he doesn't know how to play, sure. Right?
Mhm.
How to play? No. It's like you said, right? Like, the higher you get, the more impossible it becomes to play Darius really well. And
Mhm.
that's not true. The higher you get, the harder it is to just stat check people. Because people, just pass the check.
Yeah.
Or they pass on, or when you just run at them level 1, they just walk away. And then you just ran at them level 1, and now you're inside the middle of the minion wave and Teemo hits you, right? It might work, but it's not sound, if that makes sense. It's very abusive. It's like based on your opponents, not knowing the values and not knowing that it's possible. It's basically cheese.
I mean, that's right here. What do you think about the gameplay? Like,
Yeah, like so far it's all good, right? We're getting pretty much every CS. We're just being safe, right? There's some times where you're moving in too late or too early. Like here, I think you can wait longer, right? I don't think you need to go for it exactly that moment. I think if you wait a bit longer, Teemo goes for this CS and you get a free CS, right? Or he misses a CS. I think some of the angles you're using to approach the CS, right, that puts you into situations where Teemo's hitting you more. I think all the autos you're putting onto this one makes it very difficult to CS in a tower.
but I think the D shield healing makes it okay, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
And second one.
Oh yeah. Like we're not ignoring that, right? All of those matter, right? But in regards to like just basics, right? This auto on this minion makes it impossible to CS in a tower. If this is impossible to CS in a tower, that means we need to use an ability on it. The rest of the wave's also awkward, right? So, or especially that auto right there, right? Like all these, this loses us. Like this would lose us if team was decent. 2 autos of health, and yeah, we got the shield and everything. But let's look at what happens here on this wave. Right?
Yeah, this wave, I trolled.
Yeah, but like this kind of like why is this troll happening? It's kind of because you just like randomly decide to auto, and obviously because you trolled here as well. But there are other consequences that just happen based on small things you're doing. Like that auto attack right there was not necessary. It doesn't do anything. The only thing it does, it allows Teemo to just randomly auto attack you. This guy's
Wait, what?
terrible.
The auto W?
Yeah, so the auto W that comes in here is not necessary. Right, like right here on this minion, right? Literally just wait until
But doesn't it go under tower?
It does when this minion dies, but like look at how much HP it's got. What's targeting this minion? Only this one, right?
The range ones, right?
Range ones are targeting this one, brother. Maybe one of them, but that's still right. Like you don't need that auto W, or at least you don't need it on that moment. You might need it later, right? But because you
But
use it on
then
the,
at that later moment, wouldn't he just trade with me?
well, if it's at that later moment it pushes into you, so he needs to overextend way further, right? Makes it more complicated. You're putting yourself in a better position. Right?
So this right here, when
Yeah.
I'm just going for CS,
yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I can kill him here if I just E auto WQ auto all the way to tower.
I don't think you can kill him. I think you can
I can make him
out.
flash and then like
Yeah,
reset.
yeah, but all of that is based on you guaranteed hitting your E, him just not responding immediately, him not binding you immediately, blah blah blah. Right?
If he goes for a minion or
Sure, but like that's kind of the thing, right? Like that is again what we're talking about is not you playing better than him. It's just Darius versus Teemo, right? And you're never gonna get better at
so how do I get better then?
exactly right. But like the thing is, if you put yourself into this situation of just these champions, you're only gonna get better in this situation, right?
Mhm.
You're putting yourself in a situation where the only skill you're learning is play against horny AF on Teemo while you're playing Darius with these items, with these runes, blah blah blah. This is a skill you're
So
practicing right
what?
now.
So you're saying that I should start practicing making the right plays, even.
Yes. Yes. So even though there's a cheese play that might work champion to
So
champion,
what would be the right play here? Just shove wave, reset, get items,
yeah, yeah, completely. Right?
or if he keeps autoing wave, keep last hitting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So there are different answers based on what you're
But I
working on.
thought kill pressure and zoning him off would also be worth it, right?
Sure, sure, sure. So there are different answers to your questions right now based on what level you're working on, right? Because I'm giving you answers based on certain things, right? So right now, if we're only working on getting our CS better, right? And our goal is getting better at the skill CSing, our goal is getting better at the skill shooting.
Then I would either let him continue hitting the wave. If he does,
Yeah,
then I'd keep last hitting. Or
yeah,
if he stops hitting it and he lets it push towards him, I'd take a chunk of XP and shove.
yeah, exactly. And then look to base. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because basically what you're saying is, um, I'm trying to get better at shooting and hitting goals, so I need to remove the goalkeeper. I'm like, no, you just need to get better at shooting. Like removing the goalkeeper will allow you to hit your goals better, sure, but it won't necessarily make you better at the skill, right?
But like, if I had the option to remove the goalkeeper, why wouldn't I?
So there's like some things here, right? Like obviously, um, if Timo, which he did a couple of times, if Timo walks up to like here, right? Like yeah, let's just kill him.
I
He's
just go summon and kill him.
yeah, right. Like sure, like if someone's being that big of an idiot, yeah, just kill him, right? If they're really running it down, or if they're trying to dive you, like hell yeah, right? But if our goal is to hit this CS, right? Then thinking about
Then
oh
why
this
would I do this in a rank game though?
because the ranked games are the best practice. Your opponent's taking it seriously, right?
I guess, yeah.
If you're playing a normal game and your opponent's going top lane Janna with AD, it's not going to be great practice, is it?
I guess, yeah.
Right? In ranked games, at least you know that horny AF is, taking this seriously, or at least more serious than he probably would in normals. Right?
Yeah.
So we're just using ranked because it's the most competitive environment. Right? It's the best practice partner, really, and
I'm guessing you wouldn't really want people like this in your games though.
it depends, right?
I
On the
mean,
same,
based on how I was playing, I wouldn't want him on my game.
sure, but at the same time, like if you're if you're playing with a Darius that's just randomly gonna go all in and loses, you don't want to have that Darius on your team, right?
Yeah. So far, 3 minutes and 40 seconds in, I missed a good bit of minions because I was randomly autoing
Yeah,
and bad spacing.
yeah. So
So
again,
how do I work on so the random autos? Like only auto if you haven't like
yep. But let's
only
let's
if you
talk about more than just this, right? So far we've talked about the first skill, right? It's just getting
CSing.
CS, right? And if we're just looking at the first skill, what you've done so far is basically like perfect. You're playing really good, right? If we're looking at the second skill, which will be added up there, which is like
Denying,
punishing, yeah,
yeah,
denying or punishing CS.
would result in me either killing him or making him reset and shoving the wave under.
Exactly, right? If we're looking at this skill, then you've played like shit. Which is obviously because I told you to, right? Like that's not I'm not telling you
Yeah,
to play. But like if we're looking at this skill, you're playing terribly. If we look at the third skill, you're oh it's so bad. Don't even think about the third skill, etc., etc.,
abusing
etc.
your lead. Yeah,
Third skill in this sense is we don't look at that. Third skill is clicks and movement, right? And trust me, they are terrible, but that's fine. They don't need to be good.
how do I work on that?
We'll get to that. we'll get to that. It's in order for a reason. Trust me.
CS punish clicks.
Yes, and then it just goes on. It goes on. Blah blah blah. But yeah, right now, you're really close to being competent at this skill, right? Yeah,
Competent, really. Gosh,
yeah, but like
I
competency
don't
is
know.
only thing that matters.
I honestly thought going into this game I was like either like competent or like I don't know. I thought it was good.
Yeah, but
I
that's
guess
fine.
it's
That's fine.
just the fact that like I used Darius's. I don't know. I just abused Darius's stats to make my CS inflate, which
Yeah,
makes me look better.
yeah, right. And yeah, like you were saying, right? Like if you like when you get high up and it doesn't work anymore, what do? Right?
I start losing games and I'm like, what do I do?
Well, you might not start losing games, but you'll go to like 50% win rate, and then after like
Yeah,
2,000 games, you'll
coin
still be at
flip.
the same slot. Yeah, exactly. Right?
That's where I am right now on my main coin
Exactly.
flipping
Right?
games.
But that's kind of like the thing, right? Like if you're just coin flipping games, you're not gonna get better. The only way to get better is by basically accepting that you might in some games like this one.
Yeah, accepting that I'm not a good player and I have things to work on and I have to work on them.
Yeah, exactly. And like being a good player and stuff like that is honestly overrated. Because
Yeah.
getting better is way more fun. Like, yeah, like I don't know, this fucking Jin might get angry that he didn't win this rank game, but at the same time, like if Jin has the same mentality as you, he wants to get better, then who the fuck
It's the yes
cares that?
thing and then nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, if like I'm playing this as this Anivia, I wouldn't play Anivia, but if I'm playing this Anivia and my all my lanes are inting, like who cares, right? Like this game, I'm not sure if you noticed.
I feel like this really does help with mental
Oh yeah, but like
cuz
I'm not sure if you noticed even this game, but you were like 2-10 or like 2 versus 10 as a team, and your bot lane was inting it like real hard. Your Master Yi died like so often as well.
I mean, this game like I started pressing a few F keys and you're like, "No, no, no, worry about the minions."
Yep.
And I was like, "Okay."
Yep.
So I completely just like zoned out isolated minions. And
Yep.
then I still didn't even hit the goal. Oh my.
Yep. But that's all fine, right? Like even if you like look at the end of the game, right? Like the tab here, you've got 8 and 12 Yi, you've got 10 and 11 Jin, and 1 and 8 Falcons, right?
I mean, that happens all the time.
Yeah, of course this happens all the time, but like, of course you're gonna lose this game. Doesn't matter if you're like 12 and 0. Like, look at your
No, this game was definitely winnable.
team.
If I punish Timo early, gain an
I mean,
advantage, and
yeah,
then
like unironically, right? Like if we play really well in lane and just like absolutely
yeah,
destroy Teemo,
that's
yeah, it's
what we should
completely
aim
winnable.
for.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, like you were mentioning, like I wouldn't want to have me on my team and this and that. Look, you've got number one CS of anyone on your team. Your other teammates are running it down. Would you want to have
No,
them on
but
your
I could
team,
have
right?
played it better though.
Sure, but at the same time, like playing it better is something you learn over time, right?
Yeah.
You're getting better at skills. And basically, what we found in regards to the CS department, right? So in regards to CS department, the goal would be 34 CS at 5 minutes, it's 80 CS at 10 minutes, and 7 CS a minute.
What is like exceedingly well for like the CS?
Everything above this. But that's not important for right now. What's important first is competency at multiple skills and then refinement. Reason being, um, basically you're like to competency is from going from 0 to 80%, right? To 80% competency, and this, let's say this takes like a random person like 1 month. It won't take you 1 month. I'm saying this takes a random person 1 month.
Mhm.
Going from 80% to 95% takes like another month or longer, right? Because this difference is just as, if not harder, to get than this difference, right? So it's
Yeah, because the higher up you go, the
yep.
more. Yeah.
So it's better instead of like refining one that far, it's better to move on to the next skill and get this to 80, etc., 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 until we're at the end, and then we refine further. So like
Okay, so like
yeah,
right now for step one, how far do you think I am?
I think you're at like 75% basically, right?
So what do you think I should do to make it get to 80?
Yeah, so that's what we're going into, right? So the mistakes we're noticing is CSing under tower. Under tower is iffy, right? We can just work on that
Yeah,
with
I
the
was throwing random like
yep,
autos for no
yep,
reason, and then
uh,
spacing,
yep, attacking minions without reason, and your um
spacing.
standing I mean spacing sure, but like I like to really put things in practical terms. Standing really close, moving
Dominions.
to minions early, right? That's the actual problem. If I write down
Hmm.
spacing, that's like an abstract concept, but like this is something you can just observe and actually work on, right? And I think you'll notice that if you just focus on this for multiple games, you will get the actual goal, which is hitting these goals 3 games in a row. You'll get that. You'll probably get this within, I don't know, like 10 or 20 games, right?
Yeah,
The goal is hit these goals 3 games in a row, right? Once we do, we'll start to work on the second goal, which is punish CS. Let's talk about that real quick, right? So how that looked in the game, like when we started talking about this. So the concept here, we could even look at it from Timo's perspective, is that once both parties are really good at getting CS, right? The only way to get further ahead is by punishing our opponent for
punishing. Yeah,
exactly, right? So what we're gonna be originally we were only looking
whenever
at
he goes for the last set.
yeah exactly right because then he's frozen in animation. Right? With other melee champions, trust me, this becomes so much easier. Against rage champions, you kind of have to get a really big trade in and just walk back off and do that later. Against melee champions, you can just do it on every minion. It's great, right? But against
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, melee matchups are the dream.
but yeah,
It,
against this team of right now, right? Like our standing here makes no sense because you can just
so
go on
where
us.
should we be standing?
Oh yeah, like where you're clicking, right? Like or like somewhere far back, right? We have nothing to do. Like there's no
I
minion.
mean, I think what was going through my head at this point is these minions are getting low and they're gonna die to tower. I have to prep
Yeah.
them.
No, that makes sense. I'm just telling you. Like it makes sense that that's going through your mind. I don't think
Like,
it's necessary, but we'll talk about that. That doesn't
like
really matter
right
here.
now, if I take an auto from him, right, I'll gain HP from second one revitalize D shield, right?
No,
If or like it'll deal like 10 damage,
no, it'll deal
maybe.
quite some damage, but especially because you
I
can
think
auto
D
Q
shield
hitting.
heals like 40 and second one heals like 5, right?
Yeah, but he can auto Q.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, like
True.
in this context, right? Like here, standing here doesn't make sense because we're not doing anything. But in a couple of seconds, Timo will need to last hit this minion. When he does, he's going to be locked in animation, and we can walk up at him and make sure he does something, right? And he's going to do one of 3 things,
So if I, yeah,
right? He's going to either just get the CS and we damage him, like we hook him and everything. He's going to use a spell to get it, which in this context is kind of weird, but it'll be clear otherwise. And third option is going to miss a minion because it's just going to run away or go on you. Another example, like imagine that this team up is a Malphite, right? If Malphite wants to go for this minion and he's like walking
he
up
can
there,
either auto it, Q it, or walk away.
yeah, exactly, right? And if he's autoing it, yeah, you better think we're walking up to him, auto Wing him or queuing him and stuff like
Auto
that.
WQ, auto walk him
Yeah.
down to turret.
Well, we don't want to like make it a Darius thing again where we just run him down for no reason. We want to make it a marathon instead of a sprint, right? Because
Mhm.
this is the place where skills shown, right? If you can just do this really well, you're gonna just outperform opponents over the long term. The short term all in battles is where it's Darius versus Timo. The long term battles is where it's con rank 1
Just the
versus
constant trades. Yeah.
exactly, right? And that's kind of what you're seeing from this Timo, right? Like he's constantly hitting you. As you
But
should, right?
yeah.
Like you see here we're standing in an awkward
Yeah, I just
position.
took 2 autos and missed 3 minions.
Yep.
That was troll. And
And
now I'm
this
walking up for no
well
reason.
this walking up makes sense, right? Like this cannon's getting
Well,
low,
kinda.
right? We can both agree like
But
this walking up
he
is too
literally
early.
autos that, and then the range in the cannon starts hitting me, and then I die.
I mean, sure, because you took more damage than you should have earlier. But like the concept here is correct. Like if we're both full HP here, right? This is a little bit too early, like you can see because he runs far away. But like let's look at what happens actually. Right there, that's either an E or the moment's over right now and we just walk back. Right? The moment
I
was
think I
right
went
there.
in on this
Yeah, you're going all in on this, right? And this ended up being a great trade, but the timing was really off, right? Like
wait,
if you
so when would be a better timing?
when he's auto attacking the minion because he's stuck in animation, right? So right now we're not walking forward yet. We're not walking forward. Oh, got hit for no reason. Got hit for no reason. Now we're walking up too early. You see, this minion is like 3 autos away, and now the second he uses his auto here, we immediately E. So E here, right now. Obviously it hits, right? We E right now, we get him, and he's stuck. Like his spell's on cooldown, or his auto attack is on cooldown, right? And like even though we were late and everything was kind of awkward, we still kind of, like this is still a good trade for us.
Because Master Yi's coming.
No,
Should I
mostly because
just?
your HP is like you have more HP to work with than he does.
Okay, so right here, do you think I should have just followed him?
You can, but honestly, like makes very little difference. It makes difference in regards to success, but not for improvement. But yeah, like you can see these cases as well, right? Like there's these two minions, but you see
He's
you're
gonna walk up to them. Either I make him miss it by walking up and pressing E, or
yeah, but at the same time, right? He, does he need to walk up to CS right now?
I
No,
mean, he doesn't need the minions.
no, but like think about this right now, right? If Timo does not CS this minion right now, does he lose it?
E-
No, right? Like he,
No.
he can get it in like 5 seconds or like 3 seconds or whatever, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I see low HP minion, I start freaking out. I get like OCD panic.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like if you look at this incoming minion wave, it's not gonna laser focus on this, right? It's gonna just target these melees down. He might need to get
Yeah,
this one, but this one he doesn't need. So the good thing to is to really look at the exact moment where he needs to CS. This is not the exact moment he needs to CS, right? Like this is a good movement, right? Like this man's dying. This is great. And right now he already backed off. You already won.
and now you would back off.
Yeah, like you already won. He's missed a minion. Or now you'd back off. Even like this is still great. Like you won. But you pop Ghost, and this is Teemo against Darius again, right? You're making it champion versus champion opposed to anything else. And obviously, like I think if you flash after him there, he dies, like you said. But like that's champion versus champion again. You're looking to just abuse your stats. You're not doing something. And obviously from that point on, which like, okay, let's not focus on that right now. Let's just focus on CS. Because there's a very big tendency in you to just go, right?
What can I say? I like killing people.
Of course. But yeah, like I think that should probably give you like a gist, right? So
Mhm.
basically, um, what I'd like you to do is to basically get these goals 3 games in a row, and then just message me. We'll go have another session and just focus on this and really focus on how to efficiently get better at that. And then from that
Mhm.
point, we'll just like you know grow even further. Does that sound good?
Yep. Sounds amazing.
Okay. Do you have any questions or anything?
Um. So meet these goals
Yep.
and then schedule another session.
Yep.
Like, if I told you, what happens if I went and did this today? Right.
Just message me. We'll get another session next week.
All right.
And in the meantime, try to focus on the second thing, right?
And the second thing would be punishing.
Yep. Yep.
Do you think? Because if I do reach that goal, the second one would just be punishing.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So like just punish CS, and the goal for second is punish as much as possible, basically. But the real like fake-ish goal is like punish at least once per wave, right?
All right.
and then a punish would be
Yeah,
one of those three.
I'll definitely go work on these things, like
Okay,
100%.
sounds good, man. Hope you enjoy yourself.
Yep.
All right,
Jeez.
see you around, man. Have a
Yeah.
nice one.
Peace.